Hi students, today is Wednesday, June 24th, and we have a good lesson tonight. We will practice our numbers that we started on Monday, practice our numbers, and then we have a good story to read about going to the gas station. And we'll learn some new words in our story. So let's get started with our lesson. Lesson English lesson for June 24th, 2020, Level 2 class. English lesson for June 24th, 2020, Level 2 class. Tonight we will practice using the calendar. Practice using the calendar. Practice saying, remember that word is saying, like speaking, and reading number words and sentences with the numbers 1 through 26. 1 through 26. We will practice reading and saying ordinal numbers. Practice reading and saying ordinal numbers. We will say and write our addresses. We will say and write our addresses because we will use numbers to do that. And then we will read a story about a safe trip to the gas pump. We will read a story about a safe trip to the gas pump. And then I will show you the Mobymax lesson that we will work on. So let's get started with the lesson. You know all these sentences and phrases. What we do in English class. What we do in English class. We listen. We speak. We read. We write. And here is a new one. We spell. S-P-E-L-L. Deletremos. Deletremos. We spell. Nosotros deletremos. We spell. And then we do practice Mobymax on your own at home. Here's our calendar for today. Today is Wednesday, June 24, 2020. Today is Wednesday, June 24th, 2020. And remember, when we speak English, we say the day first, then the month, then the date, and then the year. And on the calendar, we use ordinal numbers. Ordinal numbers. So we don't say June 1, we say June 1st. We don't say June 2, we say June 2nd. We don't say June 3, we do say June 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, like we practice on Monday. So if it's the 24th, we say 24th, and we add the TH at the end. Today is Wednesday, June 24th, 2020. Tomorrow is Thursday, June 25th, 2020. Yesterday was Tuesday, June 23rd, 2020. And we know we can use an abbreviation with numbers to write June 23rd, 2020. We can also write the date like 6, because June is our 6th month, 23rd, 2020. Or for today, we would write it the 24th. We can also write the date like this. Let's do the right day. And here are our ordinal number words. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th. We'll just stop there. After we do first, second, and third, remember we add TH to the word to make it an ordinal number. So 6 becomes 6th. 7 becomes 7th with a TH, 7th. 8 already has a T. It already has a T, so we just add the H for 8th. 9th and 10th. So keep practicing those. And here's our chart for ordinal numbers. Here's our chart, so we can find today is the 24th. And we can see how to write the word 24th. 24th. And then here's some more number words that we practiced. If you forget how to spell a number word, you can practice by looking at those two charts that we used the other day. Okay, so before we read our story, we are going to practice writing our address. My address is, and I want to practice our addresses because all of our addresses have numbers, so we can practice saying our numbers. So my address is 2356 West Green Road, Farmington, Minnesota 55024. So I write my address that way. My address is 2365 West Green Road, Farmington, Minnesota 55204. And in class tonight, you're going to practice saying your address and writing your address. And so for your homework, please send me your address and practice saying your address to a friend. So I want you to write your address, take a picture of it, and send it to me, and practice saying your address, because your address will always have numbers. Your address will have numbers. This is the street. West Green Road. This is where I am on West Green Road. It's pretend, but that's okay. This is the city, this is the state, and this is the zip code. So your address will always have the street, the apartment number if you have an apartment, the city, the state, and the zip code. So all of us will end up saying Minnesota, Minnesota, because we all live in Minnesota, but our zip codes will be different. Most of you, your city is Inver Grove. Inver Grove. So you write your street, your apartment number, your city, your state, and your zip code. I should write zip code. And so your homework will be to please send Denise your address. I want you to write your address, the whole thing, and then practice saying your address to a friend because we're practicing saying numbers, okay? And you should always be able to say your address quickly if someone asks you. That's important to do. Okay, so let's read our story. If you look at the two pictures, you can tell that this is a story about a driver, because there's a man and there's a steering wheel. Could be a woman too, but this picture is a man. And then this is a gas gauge. Gas gauge. This shows the gauge is on empty. If the red line was over here, it would be on full. Gas gauge. So what do you think the story is about? What do you think the story is about? And why? Well, let's look. This word is definitions. Definitions means, what does the word mean? If you ask for the definition, you want to know, what does the word mean? This word is gauge. Gauge is a device that measures the amount of something. Gauge, a device that measures the amount of something. In this case, we're looking at a gas gauge. How much gas does he have? This word is spark. Spark is a tiny piece of fire. A spark is a tiny piece of fire. If you light a match, it sparks. If you light a match, it will spark fire. Blast is a large explosion. Blast is a large explosion. Usually from fire. Doesn't always happen with fire, but a blast is an explosion. Let's read the story. Ed is on his way to work. The gas gauge in his car is near the empty mark. He needs to get gas soon. He stops at the gas station. Ed reads the sign on the gas pump. It says to turn off the car. Sparks from the motor can cause a fire. So he looks at the sign on the gas pump, and it says to turn off the car. Sparks from the motor can cause a fire. Ed wants to be safe. He turns off the motor. So he turns his car off. The sign also says, no smoking. No smoking. Smoking may cause a fire or blast. Smoking may cause a fire or blast. Ed wants to be safe. He does not smoke. Ed wants to be safe. He does not smoke. Ed fills his gas tank with gas and puts the cover back on the tank. He has safely filled his car with gas. The gas gauge has moved from empty to full. Let's look at that. The gauge has moved from empty to full. Empty, full. Ed is ready to go to work. Okay. So Ed was on his way to work. Before he went to work, he got gas. Where is Ed going? That's right. Ed is going to work. Why does Ed stop at the gas station? Why? Because the gas gauge in his car is near the empty mark. That's why. What does the word empty mean? What does the word empty mean? It means there is nothing in it. Empty. Nothing in it. Not full, empty, like we practiced tonight. What are two things Ed does at the gas station to be safe? So what are two things Ed does at the gas station to be safe? Let's go back in our story and look. One, he turns off the motor. Why? Because a spark from the motor can cause a fire. Number one, he turns off the motor. And number two, he does not smoke, right? Because smoking can cause a fire or blast. Right. After Ed gets gas, what does the gas gauge in his car read? What does it read? Let's look at the story. What does the gas gauge read? The gas gauge has moved from empty to full. The gas gauge has moved from empty to full. That's what the gas gauge reads. Full. F-U-L-L. Full. Just like we wrote for our answers tonight. Let's write some sentences with these words. Let's write some sentences with these words. I'll do one. I need some gas. I need some gas. I'll write another one. My gas tank is empty. My gas tank is empty. So your homework for tonight is to use these 8 words and write 8 sentences for me. Take a picture of your sentences and send them to me. Take a picture of your sentences and send them to me. That is your homework that we talked about during our class. And the last thing is I added some more Mobymax lessons, spelling with short vowels, and a lesson test about spelling with short vowels. We remember our vowels are A, E, I, O, U. The short vowels, the A makes the A, E makes the E, I makes the I, O makes the A, and U makes the sounds. So I want you to practice those Mobymax lessons. And if you haven't had a chance to do your counting lesson, please complete that too. So that is the end of the lesson. It's important that you write 8 sentences with those 8 words that we've been using for going to the gas station, so I can see your writing and we can practice writing. It's hard to write during class, but you can write after class. Okay, that's our lesson, and I will see you next Monday. It will still be June next Monday. I'll see you next Monday. Good job, everybody.